Hey, it's Andrew from Five Little Ducks Resale. We found a number of great stuff at some garage sales and estate sales this weekend, so stay tuned and we'll show you what we got. Alright guys, this is everything that we picked up this weekend at estate sales and garage sales. We spent about $110 on everything. So hopefully we'll be making our money back on this stuff, but drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. If we did well on our finds this weekend, or if you think that we missed the mark and overpaid. So this is not a part of it. That's that bulk Lego lot from a couple of weeks back. Still haven't done anything with that yet. So, all right, let's start on the left side here. And we picked up a number of vintage caps. We have a cool Telluride, Colorado hat, a New Orleans Bourbon Street, and another Telluride cap. And then also over here is a number 7 Jack Daniels cap. So that was kind of cool. Reset those. And at an estate sale, we found a number of things, including this lot of Kewpie dolls. I think they make both the hard plastic or the porcelain ones, and then also these are the soft rubber ones, so these are kind of squishy, but it does look like they need some cleaning, and we'll probably just lot these all up. They looked like a few of them were possibly made with different maker's marks, so before we just dump them in a lot and list them, I'd like to do a little bit of research just to see if we have any rare ones or ones that are more valuable than the rest. And also at that same sale, we got these 3 Madame Alexander McDonald's Happy Meal toys, along with a Cabbage Patch and a Hello Kitty Happy Meal toy. I think these 3 aren't really worth a ton, but the reason why I bought all this stuff was to obviously lower the individual buy cost a little bit, but then mainly for these 2, because we have a Minnie Mouse and a Mickey Mouse, and I think lotted up, those will do a little bit better. And then at that same sale, we have this cool, what I think is an 80s wristwatch. That just kind of screams 80s to me. That's pretty cool. Cube perspective there. A couple of pins. This first one is the Hawaiian Punchy mascot. That's his name. And then before Spuds MacKenzie was Budman. So that's kind of cool too. And I picked up a couple of these sealed sunbonnet baby dolls. Have never seen these before, but they were still sealed. So we figured I'd take a chance on those. This one does have a hole in the plastic, but I don't think it has ever been removed, but we'll do some searching around on that. And over here we have a Harry Potter figurine. It looks like this is the Potions class one. This one here, and then this cool Space Monopoly. Those were picked up by Jess at the local Dirt Cheap. And more of the same estate sale as where these dolls came from. We have this cool, can't hardly see it in there, but it's a Chicago band brass belt buckle from their 2015 tour, I believe. We have this cool Planet Hollywood pin, although it does have a magnet on the back, so I'm not sure if someone just wanted to keep it on the refrigerator or whatnot. And at a garage sale here, we found a cool Starbucks mug. They're not normally this nice, and I don't think I paid $2 for it. I think I got it for $1. That one's kind of cool. It's kind of Christmassy, so kind of 'tis the season for that. All right, anyone know what this is? I'll give you a hint right here. I'll just open it up and say, yep, it's a backgammon set. And I have never found one of these that have been complete before, but this one appears to have all the chips, all the dice. Of course, it has the little dice cups there. So that was kind of cool. It needs some cleaning. It's really dusty. This is a 2-pack of puzzles. Each are a 1,000-piece puzzle. And again, whenever we see the sealed puzzles, we try to pick them up. I always like to stick with at least 1,000-piece or greater. Those tend to bring a little bit better money than the 500 pieces or the smaller size puzzles. Now this is really cool. This was at a different estate sale altogether, but this is a vintage video game. And let me reset the camera and show you the inside of this, because it's vintage to say the least. So one second. All right, so here's the inside of that video game, and check this out. These are 5 1/4 inch or 5 1/2 inch floppies. I haven't seen these in ages, but they are pristine. I mean, look at that. And this game has a bunch of discs. I'm trying to get this back inside its case one-handed here. There we go. but it appears as though it has all of the discs included, and there's a copy of every disc that the owner made. Interestingly enough, and I don't know why this is, but this one says 9 of 10. So I couldn't find the 10th one, so I thought originally that it was not included. But the other listings that I saw on eBay only had up to this same disc. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or if maybe the content is on one of these other hard floppy disks. Not entirely sure, but it appears to be complete from the small amount of research that I did while we were at the sale. But we paid just a couple of bucks for this game, and the sold comps were actually pretty decent. The sell-through rate didn't seem to be great, but you know, if we can put it at the right price and maybe undercut some of the competition, I think we'll still do fairly well. But I thought that was really cool. I haven't seen a vintage video game like that in years. So moving on, we have another estate sale find. This is, of course, Paddington Bear, but he is vintage from Christmas '94. And one of the cool things is this kids gifts, but that vintage Sears tag. Check that out. You can see that. Okay. And we pick up something that just dropped. And here we have a Scentsy Buddy in a ducky costume in a raincoat. So he's Wellington the Duck, and he is a Scentsy Buddy. I'm not entirely sure where you put the Scentsy. I'll leave that to your imagination. Okay, moving on. We have a Canadian Mountie plush. So he's pretty cool. He's still new with tags. And we have a vintage Revereware teapot. And I've sold a number of these in the past, but not this particular style. This has the trigger where you pull it back and it opens up the lid. I've always had the other one where you push down the button and it pops the lid up. But you'll notice the bottom is fairly tarnished, but with some barkeeper's friend and a little bit of elbow grease, that will shine up pretty nice. And yeah, so I was pretty psyched to find this older style teapot. And the last part of today's haul will be this Oompa Loompa costume from Willy Wonka. If I recall correctly, this did not come with the wig initially. It says it includes the jumpsuit leg pieces and whatnot, but the lady had actually included the wig that she purchased separately with it. And so I believe it's all here. And so with Halloween fast approaching, I figured we'd give that a shot as well. So that is, again, about everything that we picked up for this weekend. Again, we paid about $110 for everything. And let me know in the comments below how you think we did. And stay tuned for some What Sold. Hey guys, welcome to this segment of the video. It is where we talk about all of the things that have sold out of our eBay store over the last few days. And in this particular segment, we do have one thrift challenge update for you, so stick around for that. Starting off the top of the list is this Pokemon trading card game, an empty tin from 2019, and this sold for $9.99 plus shipping. The next item was this vintage 1996 Looney Tunes Tasmanian Devil outdoor garden flag, and this sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. Up next was this vintage Bell and Boeing aviation hat, and this sold for $24.99 plus shipping. The next two sales came in from this same buyer. These were two of the vintage Cabbage Patch porcelain figurines, the first of which was the Entertainers, and the second one was called Storytime. And these two together sold for $21.98 plus shipping. The next item was this Hallmark Rainbow Bright ornament. This was from our large Christmas ornament haul that we did a number of months back. This ornament actually was broken and repaired, and I did disclose that in the listing. I basically had to glue the bucket back into Rainbow Bright's hand, and so I priced this down a little bit to reflect that damage, and it sold for $9.99 plus shipping. The next item actually came from a DVD VCR combo unit, one that I didn't end up listing to begin with because it wasn't worth it. It was broken and didn't work, and it really wasn't worth selling on its own, but the remote control that came with it was worth listing. And so this ended up selling. This was a genuine Samsung remote control from a DVD VCR combo unit. The model was the DVD-V3500, and it was tested working, and it sold for $14.99 plus shipping. If you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know that we had a thrift challenge a while back where we went into a thrift store for 30 minutes to try to find as many profitable items as possible. Now, to date, we only sold one item from that lot, and that item was featured on a prior video. Well, today we have another update, and it was this item that sold. It was the Sleepy Dwarf from Walt Disney's Snow White. So like we did before, let's go through the numbers to see where we were at since the last thrift challenge update. As you can see from this screenshot, we were already in the profit by $15.55 after the first sale. It was a great sale, of course. It was those blue Wilson tennis shoes, and that put us in the pure profit already. So our starting point was $15.55. And as you can see here from this handy dandy spreadsheet, that as I'm scrolling down, the Sleepy Dwarf sold for $8.99, and with shipping included, we pulled in $14.39. After shipping and fees, which equated to $6.46, our net pre-tax profit on that item alone was $7.93. And when you combine that with the $15.55 from the previous sale, we are in the profit by $23.48 on those two items, with 5 left to go. Now, again, it doesn't sound like a lot, which it isn't. However, the whole point of this was to illustrate that, reselling items can be a slow process, right? So if you're buying one item to sell on eBay and then sitting on it waiting for it to sell, it could take a while. It's one of the reasons why we don't focus on any one category to sell in. We try to be as varied in the different types of items that we find as possible. It's one reason why these What Sold videos are so important, or at least they were important to us as fairly new resellers, because it opened our eyes to the wealth of different things that we're selling on eBay. And so the process of reselling and having an eBay store is all about finding items, listing them, selling them, and just repeating the process. It is money out, money coming in, all the while trying to take out money to live on. So it is definitely a challenge to juggle that. You know, we wanted to do something fun for our YouTube channel to draw viewers in from video to video, and hopefully we've done this thus far. So the other takeaway was just to document, at random, taking 7 objects just to see how long they took to sell out of the store. Some people might watch these videos and think that the items that we find sell immediately, and some of them do, but others take much longer to sell. As the rest of the items from the Thrift Challenge sell, we will certainly keep you up to speed. So let's move on with the What Solds. The next item that sold was this Climber repair manual. It was for some Honda motorcycles, and it sold for $19.99 plus shipping. The next item to sell was another vintage garden flag. This time it was the Halloween spider, and this sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Up next was one of Jess's finds from a recent estate sale. This was the vintage Betty Crocker hardcover cookbook, and it sold for $18.49 plus shipping. Next up was this new Victoria's Secret Enchanted Apple body spray, and this ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. The details about this next item sale were kind of unique. I ended up selling this. This was a genuine HP 55A black toner cartridge, and it ended up selling for $89.99. And the buyer had reached out to me and saw that we were living in the same city, and he wondered if we would do a local pickup option. And so I went in and I enabled that in the eBay listing, and they proceeded to buy it, and we met up a couple of days later and made the sale. The next item up was this new with tags Reebok size 6XL golf polo shirt, and it sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Next up was an item from our Star Trek consignment sale that we have going on with our friend Larry. This guy sold for $11.99 plus shipping. Next up, a really nice flip. This was part of a pair of Funko Pops that I picked up at a garage sale for $5 total. This was Logan, aka Wolverine, number 28, and he ended up selling on a best offer for $125 plus shipping. I believe they were selling for $3 a piece, and I asked if they would do 2 for $5, and they accepted. And at the time, I had no idea that Logan was actually as valuable as he was. And when I was doing some research for listing him, I was pleasantly surprised to see what the value was. It had been listed in the store for a little while. I didn't want to sit on it forever, and so I ended up taking that best offer of $125, and I'm glad that I did. The next item up was this Chilton repair manual. This was for GM full-size trucks, and it sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Following that was this lot of 4 Stampin' Up! Paper punches, and these 4 sold together for $12.99 plus shipping. Here was another good sale. This was a new open box Rockwell table saw, and this was actually given to us by my father to sell on eBay, and it ended up selling for $225 plus shipping. Next up, the vintage Disney Lion King Pumbaa stuffed animal sold for $12.99 plus shipping. And the last of these finally sold. This was the Thai Beanie Baby cat with heart eyes from the Emoji Movie, and he sold for $6.29 plus shipping. Nearing the end of the list, we sold this. This was a bath set, tropical coconut scent bath gift set, and it sold for a $5 best offer plus shipping. And finally, rounding out today's list was this Thai Beanie Boos named Tracy. This black and white dog sold for $4.99 plus shipping. Okay guys, that is all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching this far. And if you enjoyed today's content, go ahead and click the like button. And if you feel moved to do so, please subscribe to the channel. We continue to grow slowly and steadily, and I do appreciate everyone who has joined recently. So with that, thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next one.